I know you're not a big fan of Subway. I love Subway sandwiches. There's something about them that feels like
Homey?
it just hits. Nah, definitely not homey. I don't know what it is because it is very. It's borderline fast food tasting to me. Like this chicken ain't really chicken. I load up with a lot of vegetables. Maybe that's what I like. I just like to mix things up. There's always something about the quality that it makes like, oh, it's so yummy. And maybe in my mind, I'm thinking, no, it's actually healthier than most things. That's why I eat it. I'm like, it's a healthy sandwich. But now the truth has come out.
Is it healthy?
Well, let's put it this way, right? Over in Ireland, its Supreme Court has ruled. And this is the crazy part, the fact that the Supreme Court has to rule anything about Subway. But basically what they're saying is that Subway cannot legally classify its bread as bread.
Why?
Because apparently Subway bread has so much sugar in it that they say, no, you need to consider this as a confectionery, which is a fancy word for candy.
What?
Exactly. So and they do this for tax reasons, but basically there's like Subway, you are not a bread shop because what you sell is not
Sugar.
bread. It's literally
It's
loaded
candy.
with so much sugar. Now I know why I love Subway sandwiches so much. The bread is so like yum 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 yum.
Really? We should try it. I want to see the difference.
You eat Subway all the time. What are you talking about?
No, with other bread.
Oh, like just like a side by side taste test
Yes.
comparison.
Yes.
Okay, we can do that.
Right?
Yeah, we try not just with their main bread, but like the other breads too, because the other breads are loaded with so much stuff. Like even if you never put anything in a Subway sandwich, the fact that they load it up with like butter and cheese
And
on
it's
top,
already
and how
tastes good
it literally
itself.
is like a meal in itself without ever having like shove Subway stuff in it. But yeah,
No
I mean, this is
freaking
what
way.
it's come down to. And I was like, all right, this is the craziest thing I ever heard. But yeah, Subway, is disputing this because there's a tax implication. But yeah, apparently Ireland has some very complex definitions for like what kind of foods can get taxed and not taxed, like hot food versus cold food. I actually think that happens here in the US. Like there are certain types of foods in certain places where you like, if you decide to toast the bread, it suddenly turns to a hot meal from a cold meal, and there's a different tax bracket that you have to pay for that. Oh yeah, but a lot of people don't know this because it's just minor. A lot of places don't tell you, but it does happen, and that's something else that happens in Ireland too. Yeah,
They really have to like study and test their.
they pretty much have to give the recipe away of like how much sugar was in
Right.
their bread. This is how they define it, right? To be considered bread, like the overall weight of the dough, no more than 2% of it can be sugar.
No more than 2%.
Just 2%. So it's very, very low, right?
Okay.
That being said, if you put 10% of anything as sugar, like imagine your coffee, like if it was 10% sugar, that's like, that would be feeling like it's overload. But apparently, for Subway bread, it's about 10%.
No.
So imagine like if you had a cup of coffee and 1/10 of it is just like a layer of sugar.
Right.
That's how much sugar is in the bread.
Now I'm so interested to like try.
Well, now
the
I know I'm
bread.
not going to eat a lot more Subway on go because I thought that was a quick pathway to eating healthy.
Don't you think it's the same thing with other sandwiches?
It's an interesting question. I don't know what's the case for other Subway places, like if their breads are like that. But if you go and buy regular bread, like I said at the supermarket, it's about 2%. That being said, right, there are breads known around the world that have very high sugar content. Like bread from Sweden apparently has very high sugar content, like over 10%. It's like a sweet bread.
No, yeah.
And we go to like Chinese bakeries all the time.
Yes, yes.
And their breads for sure are loaded with sugar. That's why they
That's
put
why I love it.
sugar and butter. But it's a very different kind of bread. Chinese bread is not just plain bread. They put stuff in it, right? It's almost like a little sandwich, pre-made sandwich.
Right.
But it's definitely not healthy. It's probably much worse than Subway is. But there you go. It's official. Subway
Official.
bread is not bread.
It's candy,
I don't know how I
you
feel
guys.
about
It's
that.
candy. That's
There
why
you
you
go.
like it.
That's why I like
That's why it's
it.
addictive.
That's why it's so unhealthy.